For sure. All right. It is October 7th and of 2025. And we are here to talk Mary Kay. I'm so excited. Okay, I am going to say a really quick prayer though before we start, and then we'll go. Lord, we just thank you so much for this day. I thank you for all the ladies here and for just all the ladies in our unit. And we thank you for this company and all of the things that it's brought to our lives. And just we trust you with changes and anything that's going to happen, because the most important thing is we have you and we know you're going to get us through anything. And I just thank you for good health for everyone in our unit, and just guide me as I try to explain this and help it to be clear and not confusing. And we just pray that this time will be to your glory. It's in your name we pray. Amen. There's Miss
Amen.
Stephanie coming in. Okay. Okay. So let's talk recognition for a minute. I did get a few accomplishment sheets. Um, and so I will go ahead and go with what I got. And oh, there's Debbie. We'll let Debbie get in here. Yay, we have a full screen. This is exciting. See, Cheryl, you got to be here every week to make sure that our screen is completely full.
Okay.
Okay, so hey, Debbie. Hey,
Yeah.
Stephanie. Glad y'all are here. Okay, so on recognition, I got accomplishment sheets from Debbie and Dawn. Um, and Debbie had a $178 week, and Dawn had a $376 week. Um, oh, and Dawn, you're like stuck, like frozen. Is
Oh.
Dawn frozen to everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I just sold 144. I did not have the greatest week. I need to get on it for the month for sure. Oh, here she comes again. I don't know what happened. Maybe because she's okay. That's interesting. So Dawn, now I have you on here twice. Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are just once. Okay, good. I don't know what's happening. So anyway, thanks for turning that in. And I think October is usually a high selling month. I feel like I've just had a slow start. But $376 a week is good, Dawn, and I know she's got a big party she's trying to get to hold. And Debbie is planning a big open house thing at her church. So, and I know Cheryl and Dawn did a vendor show that was good and got some new people. So that's exciting as well. So that we had some things happening this week for sure. Okay, well, I do have a lot to cover tonight. But I do want to make sure before Debbie does product knowledge, is there anything anyone wants to share that maybe has been positive in the last week? It can be Mary Kay or not Mary Kay that you would just like to share that's been positive. We are seeing Jody's new kitchen as she's
Yeah.
in it. So that's positive. Anybody else have anything
Mhm.
great they want to share?
Um, I have something kind of funny.
Okay, go ahead and tell us, Cheryl. We'll take funny.
Um, so this girl usually buys high intensity sport for her man. That's all she ever buys. Couple of years, once in a maybe every other year. Anyway, last time I only had one more on my shelf, and I said, "Oh, I'll sell that one to you half price." Well, she didn't take me up on it, so she just called me or texted me over the weekend and said, "Hey, I need another high intensity," and I'm like, "Okay, cool." She wanted to stop by and get it out of my mailbox and asked me the total. I said, "It's 49.58." I thought, if you don't jump on the good deals, that's not my fault.
Well, and we're probably go over and beyond for our customers, because if you go to a store, a sell at Dillard's, it's on for sale for as long as it's on sale at Dillard's. Like we
Mhm.
probably we probably are kinder than we have to be sometimes. But that's okay. Sell it to her for full price. Well, that's exciting that you sold it. I know it seems like it takes a long time to use up cologne and perfume. So even if I have someone that purchases it regular, that's a regular, it takes a while to use it up. It just It just does. It has a long.
Can I ask you, did you say something about me earlier?
I did. I said we could see your beautiful kitchen. You know,
Oh,
I was considering that a positive for the last
oh,
week.
it is. Here's a positive. Like, this is like customer service beyond, y'all. So you can see these cabinets behind me don't have doors. It's because they're being custom made. Well, they installed them on Monday, but the guy that works for my contractor, he called him. He was like, "Do you want to come look at these cabinet doors?" And he's like, "Why?" So anyway, he called the cabinet guy, made the cabinet guy come out here, and he made them take them back. He's like, these are substandard. These are not going to do. And I was like, what was wrong with them? He said, well, they weren't quite even, and there was some dimples, and there was some this. And I was like, okay, you were worth every single penny. Like, and he's had the painters back this because the painters came back Monday too, 3 times. And yeah, and I was like, okay. So anyway, yes. And yes, it is. It is beautiful. It is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So thank you.
Very exciting. Anything else great anyone wants to share?
I do.
Okay, go, Alexandra.
Yes. Well, I'm doing a participating in a fundraiser for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and it's in honor of my brother and nephew. And just within 3 days, I was able to raise a lot of money. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I need the way I'm applying these skills of just reaching out to people, just talking to them, and raising this much money, then I need to do this with my business. So I'm happy
Yes,
with that. Yes.
you have the skills.
Right. Yes. And I'm like, what, $70 away from my goal? So I'm pleased with that.
Yay, well, good for you. That's very
Thank
exciting.
you.
So, is that a focus for the month of October generally?
Well, it is. Well, the walk is October 18th.
Okay.
And yes, so the leukemia and lymphoma month is September, but because there's all these walks all over America, I think they just have to have the walks, at
Yeah.
different times. And the walk here in St. Louis just happens to be in October, which is, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm sure it's a bunch of other awareness months as
Yeah, it
well.
seems
So,
like
yeah.
October is, yeah. But that's good to know. Thank you for sharing that. And
Okay.
yeah, good luck with all that. And so, are you walking in the walk?
Yes, I am in
Okay.
honor of my brother and my nephew.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yes.
good.
Thank
Yeah, well, that's very exciting. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else before Debbie does product knowledge? Okay, Debbie, you can unmute and we want to hear what you have to say about whatever product you're talking about today.
Okay, I would show you the products, the picture of it, but I don't know how to do that on here. You'll have to
Okay,
tell
what
me.
product is it?
It's the new concealers.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I have a lot to say. It's like, whoa, big, but I'll try not to take too long. They said that they're seamlessly blended to conceal perfectly. And I want to tell you that my friend and I tried them the other day. I used my best friend. She's my best customer. She did a $178 order last week. And we always try stuff on each other together and stuff. And she's very big help. And it concealed the dark spots on her face immediately. And we were both kind of shocked, because we use the brightener every day. So, and we were going over to what to use in the morning, at night kind of stuff. So we did the concealers, and I realized there's a light, a medium, and a dark in number 1, 2, and 3, which would be warm, cool, and neutral. And I was looking at all of this, the cool tones and all that color coding stuff, and it's not very easy to do. And there's undertones and overtones kind of stuff. So we'll have to get into that later. I was trying to figure some of that out because I was going to maybe do that, but it's a little more involved than I thought. So you have to either, I don't know if they have a comparison. They need a comparison chart for which concealer you would use for which foundations, maybe.
There is a chart.
Oh, is there a chart?
Yes,
And I didn't catch that.
I can post it in our group after the meeting.
Well, if you know what their
Or
number
I might
is,
be able to do it now.
I was gonna say, if you know what their number is, it'll say warm, cool, or neutral on their foundation. Maybe you can go by that.
Yeah, and since there's also more colors. Okay, so the chart I'm sending you is not based on like. I'll look and see if there's a chart that tells you like color of foundation and which one you should use. I think there is, but there's also a chart that tells you like if you used deep ivory before, which one would you use now?
Okay.
So I can
Oh,
post that one, and then I'll look and see
yeah, I
for
must
the
have
chart.
missed that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll post that in our group right now, and then I think I've seen one that tells you a chart with foundation and the new colors. I will try to post that one as well.
I have a little book where I keep all those charts, so I don't have to keep looking it up, and I'd like to have that and put that in there. Okay, well, the new shades are $18 a piece. And like I said, there's 3 shades for each: warm, cool, and neutral. And what they do is it's a multi-benefit formula. It conceals the redness, but yet it conceals the dark spots and the blemishes. Like I said, the other things that I have like on our face, I've been using the brightener for. And it's a creamy, long wearing, and it's it's can't read my own writing. I was going to say field cover. It's full coverage concealer. So it's natural. Your skin, you match it, like I said, with your foundation and stuff. Maybe that'll go better, but it's not, like I said, there's light, medium, dark, and then there's the neutral and all that other kind of stuff. It's infused with vitamin E and glycerin. And the color, like I said, can cover freckles and anything. If you don't like your freckles, I kind of like mine once in a while, but in the summer they get pretty heavy, and it looks like I bombarded. So some of that concealer would probably be very good. And there's not much else. I thought I had a lot to say, but that was probably it. So like I
Did you
said, the
feel like
digital.
did you feel like it didn't take very much?
No, it didn't. She just
When you were
dotted it and just put a little dot on those spots, and she did it over the top actually of her foundation at the time because she already had her foundation on when we were doing this. So she just taught, and it kind of blended in. So you can use that under your eyes, or even like, I would say that even if you have like darkness over your eyelids before you put your color, your eyeshadows and stuff on, I would put it on my eyes as well. So
I do that.
I don't think $18 for that tube is too much, because you use such a little bitty part of it. You're just a little dot of it for wherever you need it, unless you want, of course, you weren't trying to cribble like your freckles or a lot of redness on your face. If say you has rosacea or something like that, you would use more. Otherwise than that, it doesn't take hardly anything at all. And boy, that went fast.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I'll try to find, I did just post the one that told you from the old concealer to the new in our group, but I'll try to find the one that tells you which concealer for which foundation. I think I've seen that. So
Okay.
I'll try to post that, and then you guys will have that too in case. I'm about out of the old under eye corrector and the light ivory. I still have some of the other concealers, but I'm about out. So I need to start.
Do you want to know about the corrector? Or
The
you
under
wanna
eye
do that
corrector?
later? Yeah. I did that too, but you can wait that for another time. If you want.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well,
I didn't know which one I
Debbie.
wanted to do at first, so I did the corrector, and then I decided to do the concealers.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure they're similar in texture. It's just a matter of the color and what the design
Well,
is.
especially if you have a lot of redness, or a lot, I mean, not redness, a lot of darkness, is the corrector is better than the concealer for that.
And it's because it's more peach.
And those have the 2 light ones, the light and the darker one too, also.
Yeah, I think it's probably better. We can cover more skin tones now that we have 2 under eye correctors. So that's better. So anybody else have anything to add or questions about concealer? All right. Thank you for doing that, Debbie.
You're welcome.
It's kind of helpful when you've had like a customer use what you're going to train on that week, because you have a little bit more to say about that. Okay. All right. So what I want to show y'all, I'm going to share a screen, which I'm hoping will maybe make it a little bit easier. I mentioned some of this a while back, but the company now has, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go on your Mary Kay and Touch and you go into news, it should refer you to the new e-commerce experience. And then if you click on that, it takes you to, there's a video that you can watch about it. And then it also has like some sheets you can look at and print out that gives you more information about it. But you do have access to all of this information on your Mary Kay in Touch. They didn't send an email, but they put it out there, and then they have there's a little link that says Connect Hub. And if you click on the Connect Hub, it gives you more details, and then they will be updating that Connect Hub in November as well as things come up. So I've been on a call with a national sales director. There's still some things we don't understand. And the number one thing is we don't know exactly what date that this is going to happen. But they are telling us some things that they want us to do in October and in November to prepare. I think tentatively it's probably going to be after the STAR deadline in December. But I don't know if they'll do it at the beginning of a month, like January 1, but they haven't given us the date yet. But they're kind of preparing us, and there are some more questions that we all have, but I think that we'll get some of those answered. So they just say coming later this year, Mary Kay e-commerce platform designed to be bold, efficient, effective, and easier to connect with your customers than ever before. So when I first heard about some of the changes, there's definitely pros and cons. But part of that is it's a change for us. It's a change. And so we've had a lot of changes in the last couple of years. And I'm like, we've had changes, so we can do it. And I think it's a little more scary sometimes because it's technical. So, you got to have technical things to work. So, so this is what's changing. There's going to be a new marykay.com site. So, and your personal website is now going to be called, your personal website manager is now going to be called Shop Manager. We are transitioning from ProPay to Stripe. And let me tell you a little bit about that. So one of the things that they've explained to us is that ProPay takes your money and it sits like on their platform. You know how it just kind of sits in ProPay, and then you can use that to pay for orders, or you can even get a debit card and use that money that way. There's, so they're holding the money, ProPay is. So with Stripe, what's going to happen is that money is going to go directly to your checking account or your whatever account you have tied to it. It will go directly there. So there's no holding of money somewhere that you're going to use later. It's just going to go directly to your account. Our personal websites are now going to be called My Shop. They're also changing My Customers. And so the My Customers app and the My Customers is going to be a little bit different. And there's going to be now a consultant locator. Well, we have consultant locator now. It's going to be called consultant connector. If someone goes and looks for a consultant online, and I'm going to tell you the difference, because you know how now we have like 5 zip codes we put on there. It's going to be different. So I'll kind of explain that as we go through this. So you do still have a choice to sell in person or online. You can still use your personal inventory, or you can deliver, or you can take advantage of My Shop experience with immediate shipping directly to your customer. My Shop will simply be a modern extension of your selling power. So let me tell you the difference. It's basically you are not going to have control if someone orders off your website. So that could be a pro or a con. If they order off your website, and they will pay on your website, and that will be shipped immediately to them from the company. You don't get to choose whether so like currently, depending on how you have your website set up, you can say, like I have Easy Ship and guest checkout turned off so that I have total control over every order. There is not going to be an option to do that. So one of the things I would suggest you look at in October is how many customers do you have that order off your website? and whether they pay or not, how many actually order off your website. So you can kind of decide, because, you know, if it's your neighbor next door and they order off your website, you are not going to be able to deliver that product. It is going to go directly to them. So that might mean you need to have a discussion with those customers that typically order off your website, and you always deliver it to them. Now, if you're already just sending it to them, then it's not as big of a deal, but that's going to be the biggest change. So, and they can go on there and not tell you who they are, sort of like guest checkout is now, but you are still going to get credit for it. So there's pros and cons with that, because in some ways, if they do that, they could decide, I'm going to buy from Jody this week, and next week I'm going to buy from Dawn, and next week I'm going to buy. I mean, they could do that, and we don't have any control over that, but you do still get credit for every single person that orders off your website. So there's pros and cons, but it's a little less work on your end if you're allowing that to, you know, if they're just ordering off your website. So launch timing, the finishing touches are being made to ensure everything is polished before an official launch date is announced. So October, I didn't even know. They have final month commissions are paid through ProPay. I didn't even know anyone was getting their commissions paid through ProPay. I mean, I think that just means, you know, and then complete your My Customers pre-work, which we're going to talk about your My Customers pre-work that you need to do. And then November, current personal website subscribers will have to access to the shop manager to set up their shop and Stripe account. So the new shop manager is going to allow us to do more on our personal websites, which is kind of exciting. So we're going to be able to put up to 6 pictures of ourselves on our personal website. We're going to be able to put more information about ourselves. Is a little bit more customizable. So that's kind of exciting. And I think we're going to get to start setting that up and setting up our Stripe accounts in November. If you happen to have a ProPay account that expires like this month or November, go ahead and re-sign up for it if you're using ProPay already, because it's free and you want to be able to handle your ProPay transactions until Stripe is up and running. So goodbye ProPay, hello Stripe. Unlike ProPay, Stripe does not act as a holding bank, which is what I was telling you. So with Stripe, profits you earn from your MyShop will deposit directly into your bank account. You'll also be able to provide additional payment options like Apple Pay and Google Pay. The consultant connector is being upgraded to make it easier for customers to find you by location, name, or phone number. And the searches will now expand anywhere from 10 to 50 miles from your 2 zip codes. So you won't put 5 zip codes in, you'll just put 2, but it's not going to limit you to just like now it just limits it to those 5 zip codes. Now it's going to expand out 50 miles, giving your business more visibility and connecting you with potential customers. Okay, so on My Customers, so this is some of the things we need to look at. It's going to become more mobile friendly with a few key changes. So they are not going to transfer all the date fields. So birthdays will carry over, but anniversaries, graduations, etc. will not be carried over. So if that's something you look at, like if you look at their anniversary date or any other customer information like that, and you want to keep that, you need to go put it in the notes section for that customer, because the notes section will come over. If, you know, I've been encouraging people to enter in My Customers forever, because if you enter it in there, then it automatically goes to your accomplishment sheet, but they're only going to migrate the last 2 years of orders. And if you have an order sitting out there and it's pending or new, and you haven't completed the order, it's not going to transfer. So make sure that under your orders, you have them all completed. And you know, I love to have all my order history, but I'll tell you, several years ago when I switched completely over to Mary Kay, I was using Pink Office. I was paying for Pink Office. And when I decided to stop paying for Pink Office and only use Mary Kay and Touch for all my ordering, I don't remember how many years I had on Pink Office, several. My assistant and I did print everybody's orders off so I could, I mean, like I had a list of products for all my customers and I filed it hard copy and a thing thinking, I will need to know this, I will need to know this. And quite frankly, I didn't really need to know it most of the time. So since they're giving us 2 years of orders information, that's pretty good. And so if someone has bought something from me more than 2 years ago and I don't have that information, I'm just going to tell them I only have the last 2 years of information, which is pretty good. So our action step in October is to manually add any non-birthday dates that you want to keep into your notes section. And then it says to export any older order data. I don't know how you export that out of, honestly, I don't know how you do it out of mycustomers into on your computer, but I've heard people asking how does that work, and I haven't gotten an answer. But I feel pretty confident because I've got, I mean, the thing is, I probably have years of data out there, but if a product is no longer in our line, it doesn't show up anyway when you do a search on Mary Can't Touch. Now, I feel like the app shows more of the previous customer history, but it's not going to show more than 2 years. So just so you know, like if you have a really good customer that you feel like you need to know more what their colors are or anything like that, you could capture that data ahead of time. Honestly, if someone hasn't bought foundation from me in more than 2 years, I probably want to meet with them and rewrite and make sure we're good on the color anyway. So, okay, are we good so far? Any questions so far? Okay. So this chart tells you these are the things that are going to be migrated and these are the things that are not. So they are going to get their name, if they've got a photo out there, birthday, address, email, mobile phone number. So I've been in Mary Kay so long, I do have some people that from a long time ago, I had their home phone number in there. And on occasion, I mean, you could potentially have entered someone's number and it's really a cell number, but it's listed under their home number. That home number is not going to be transferred over. So just make sure if you go look at all your customers, if you have their mobile number, make it sure it's in the mobile number field, that it's not in the home number field or work number field, because those numbers aren't going to cross over, only the mobile number. It says flags, metadata, current reminders. I'm assuming like tag and the customer tags and all that are going to be any registered customers are coming over, any customers created in mycustomers, all archived records are coming over. So if you've archived a customer, it's coming over. I archive my orders after so long as well, so they're not all sitting out in orders. So I'm grateful those are being coming over. So interest, frequency of contact, preferred contact method, beauty, skincare information from questionnaire, social media URL, all that is coming over. Customer tags and order tags, like I know Cheryl uses customer tags, those are still coming over. Anything you put in the notes section, anything like that. So what's not is the home phone number, the work phone number, the profile date, the anniversary, graduation, new baby, new job, vacation, wedding, any other date. Occupation, if you have their occupation on there, or their marital status, which some of that we've collected over time on their profile card. If you've entered all that, that's not going to migrate over. And any previously deleted customer data, including customer data still in your trash can. So typically if I've deleted a customer and they're in the trash can, then I have gone back and have had to go back once or twice, but usually that's only because it's a registered customer. All of your customers that have registered customers that have passwords are going to have to reset their password when the new site goes live, which a lot of mine can't remember their passwords. So maybe it's good to have to reset it. So just so you know what's moving over. Okay. Any questions about that part of it? Go ahead, Debbie. You're muted.
Okay, I have not used that before, but as I get more customers, I can see how that would be beneficial. But what is a customer tag number?
Like Cheryl, do you want to explain how you use the tags? Are you still there? Maybe she's not there. Okay, so you can set up tags that kind of put your customers together. So I haven't done it a whole lot, but Cheryl trained on this once and she uses it really well. But like I had like 10 customers given to me from a previous consultant. And I
Oh.
wanted to remember that's where I got him from. So I could set a tag on there that said this came from here. Like you could set a
Oh.
tag for these are all my people in St. Louis. These are all my customers in St. Louis. This tag is all my people in here. You know, you can
Yeah.
create
I
like where
like
you're grouping customers together.
I like to put down where I met them. Like if
Yeah.
I was in a certain store or something that way, oh no, so I could put it in, that would be what that would be
You
like.
could, I mean, I think there's only so much space for that, but you could put that in your notes section too. But if you put
Oh,
it in your tag, then you can do a search on those people, like, you know,
yeah.
all together.
Oh, and what about the passwords?
That's if your customer is registered on your website, they had to create a password,
Oh, they had
which
to.
they have to, which we never have access to that anyway. So if they're a registered customer, I believe they'll stay a registered customer, but when they go back in there to order on your website, they will have to reset their password.
What if they don't remember their password?
Well, they got to reset it anyway. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Like if they have to know their previous one or not. I don't know.
Oh,
I've
wait a minute.
had people that couldn't come up with it and they've had trouble, but I don't know for sure. But if they'll have to put their previous one in or not, or if it's just going to say set a new password. I think since it's a whole new system, they might just have to set a new password, hopefully.
Angela,
Yes, yes.
this is what I did because I just had a new customer from the reunion, and I was going to go ahead and process her order, and so I would enter her information. But what she did for my customer, she registered herself. So I had two of her, Amy S and Amy S in there. So what I did, because I don't even know if she had her password, I just re-registered her in my customers, and I did. I just did it that way because I had customers that would register themselves and then I would have them in there and I would just register them in there and I would let them know that, hey, I placed your order because I had to run it. And we just did it that way. So that's just my feedback because I have that happen a lot. Customer,
Yeah,
like I
and
register customer, yeah.
there's been a few times, which I don't know what the new system will do, but there has been a couple of times when I had people try to read and it combined our two records. But if I don't remember what has to be the same for it to combine those records, but I have two of some people as well because I had them in there because they ordered and so I entered their tickets and everything and then they registered. So they're in there twice. Yes, that's happened too. But I feel like going forward, with this new system, I mean, they're all just going to be on their own with this because, I mean, we can enter, as far as I know, we can enter their information and we can deliver it ourselves. But if they go through your website at all, it's just going to be sent to them. So that's, which is interesting, different. And so that kind of goes along with this new tiered discount structure we're going to have. So with this, what's going to happen is, so they're saying it's going to help us stay competitive in a way that's strategic, responsible, and true to who we are. So, a new consultant coming in, say we get a new consultant and they come in and they place a great start qualified order, which is at least 600 wholesale. So that unlocks their 50% earned discount privilege and they earn their bundles. If they place an active inventory order of each with at least 225, it unlocks their 50% earned discount privilege. But if they sign up and they don't do any kind of order, but someone goes to their website and orders, then it's going to automatically be sent to them. Now, I don't see it here. I've heard some things, and I think it says it in that document. And so this is what I don't know. It says it has to be at least $100 for the order to go through, or like there has to be at least $100. This is what I don't understand. $100 retail for an order to go through, is the way I understand it. But it's very confusing to me because it basically says we're just going to let them order off your website, but you're just not going to make 50%. You're going to make 30%. And this is what I don't understand. What if they sign up their website and they want to do a Great Start qualified order, but they don't have it all together yet, and someone goes to their My Shop before they're ready and orders, and then they've just ordered $100, did they just lose their Great Start qualified order? Those were the questions the nationals were asking because that wasn't clear in what they've given us so far. So, I mean, more than likely, unless you've given them, but someone could search for you and find you and order off your My Shop before you have a time to do your qualifying order. So I don't know if when there's a new consultant that signed up, maybe there's a way they don't really set up their My Shop account until they do that qualified order. You know what I mean? And then they set up that My Shop account and then they can start taking orders. But if you are inactive, so if you're a new consultant and you haven't even placed an order yet, but someone goes to your website and orders your My Shop, then you're only going to make 30%. But the difference in that and what we have now is they couldn't even do that before. They couldn't order because you weren't active. So now you have the potential to not be active and have someone order off your website directly, and it gets directly shipped to them, but just know you make 30% instead of 50%. Does that kind of make sense? Debbie, go ahead.
So if you are active and they order off of your website, they send it to them, you get 50%?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you didn't. Okay, somebody told me it was the other way.
You do if you are active.
Active, okay.
If you're not, say you're in a T status or you're a brand new consultant or you're in inactive status and they go to your website and order, then you would only make 30%.
Okay, now when they order off of your website, say they don't like the product or it didn't turn out right or something, how do they return it? Do they have to get hold of you?
Yes. As far as I know, yes. That's a
Okay.
good question. I don't think anyone's asked me that yet. As far as I know, yes. Because you're still their consultant.
Yeah.
You know, they're still your consultant.
Mhm.
So,
So yeah, they wouldn't, I was wondering if they would have to send it back to the company or if they would have to get us to take it back.
I think it's still us because the idea is that they still have a consultant. I honestly don't know since I've never used guest checkout very much. I mean, I don't know how many people have done guest checkout, but how many people have ever had a return related to a guest checkout? Probably not very much. I would think.
I've just normally told my customers, you can go on the website and see anything you want, but don't order on the website. Just text me and tell me what you want. Isn't it on the website they can let you know what they want or something, but not order it from the company?
Well, that's how it is currently, but that's not how it's going to be.
Going to be. So if they order on the website, it will have to go straight from them. So you should let your customers know that people that that just order off of there, you can't tell them because you didn't know they were going to order. But if they're your customers, you can tell them to order from yourself. Which I would rather. Okay.
If that's what you want. So that's the choice you have to make. Like, if my next door neighbor orders off my website, I can't take it to her. It's going to automatically be shipped to her.
Right. Okay.
So if I have a situation like that, then I'm going to tell those customers, I don't have that. I have people that order off my website that don't live here. They expect it to be CDS for more than likely, or for me to ship it. I have people that order off my website, don't pay on my website, they just order off of it, and then I may go deliver it to them, and then they may pay me Venmo. It's not going to work like that once this changes. It is, if they order off the website, the company is going to send it to them. Now, what I do believe is when you set up your My Shop, you do have the ability to say whether they're paying shipping or whether you're paying shipping.
Oh, they pay shipping if they order off the website.
I think you can choose either way. I think you can say as a consultant, I pay it, or I want my customer to pay it.
Okay, well, can you explain My Shop a little bit then?
My Shop is just replacing your website.
Oh,
It's
okay. That's
going
what
to
it's
be
gonna be
called,
for
it's
now.
going to be called My Shop.
My shop. Oh, okay.
So I kind of need to stop saying the word website pretty soon
Okay.
because that's
All
not what
right.
it's going to be called. It's going to be called My Shop.
Okay, I got it.
So it's what's replacing it. So, and then it says once a new consultant's My Shop orders for the month reach an accumulated retail sales of 450, she becomes active. So this allows her to get, if she's not active, then to get $100 order here, $125 here, whatever. She's only going to make 30% on it if she's not active. But once she's active, it'll accumulate those orders and then she starts getting 50% off. So this kind of goes through like a potential profit breakdown. So say you're new, you're inactive, or you're in a T status, and someone goes and orders off your website, and it says, okay, so there's a $70 order, so you're going to make 30% of that. So that's 21. Your current retail amount is 70. Then on the 13th of the month, someone orders $90. So see, these orders are less than 100. So that makes me say, I've heard that you had to order 100, but what they're telling us, these orders are less than 100. So it makes me think any size order. $90 times 30% equals 27. Your total monthly retail is now 160 because it's added the 90 plus the 70. Then you get a $150 order. You're only going to make 30%. Your total monthly retail now is at 310. So now that you've hit, but you're not at 420, you're not at 450 yet. So you're not accumulated enough for 450, but in that final order, you got a $200 order. And because that puts you over the top for the 450 retail, then on that final order, you're going to make 50% on that order instead of the 30%. And now this consultant is active after this month, and she can order. And the same thing applies. If you're active in this month, you still have 2 months where you're still active. So if someone then goes to your My Shop and orders $50 on the very first day of the next month, you're still going to make 50% off that, not 30% off, because you're still active. So if you're still in A1, A2, A3, then you still get that. So does that make sense? And then, okay. But it's saying it is going to pay you better to be active. Because $100 My Shop order as an inactive consultant, you're going to make $30. A $100 My Shop order as an active consultant, you're going to make $50. So, it's still to your benefit, really, to do it like we do it now. But it does, if for some reason you're inactive for a minute and you can't get active, this is giving you the opportunity to get those website orders. You can say, go order off my website. So what that means is, you may not have to go find product, because you can just have them go to your website and order, and the company's going to send it to them. You're not going to make the 50% if you do that, but you're going to at least make the 30, and you're giving the customers getting their product within 3 to 5 days. So that's kind of so then it says, let's talk inventory orders. An inventory order is placed by a consultant on InTouch. So active consultants, inventory orders of any size will receive a 50% discount. Same thing applies with inactive consultants, inventory orders. So someone could order. So we had, Margaret and I were talking about this because we both had consultants last month order less than 450 retail and ended up paying full price for their order because they didn't realize they needed to hit 450 retail, 225 wholesale. So what happened to them this past month is they paid full price for their order. We try really hard to make sure people don't ever do that. And there's 3 places on there when you go through there that tells you you're paying full price. You're paying full price in red, but it still happens. It still happens. And so what will happen going forward when this all implements is that if a new consultant or any consultant went out there and did that, they would make 30% off of it. Now remember, there is shipping. So if you pay shipping on that, you really aren't going to make 30%. So to me, it's still in your best interest to be active. and make your 50%, but it does give you a little bit of wiggle room and a little bit of leeway. So for all consultants, both your retail sales from your online shop plus any online inventory orders placed during the month accumulate to help you reach your active status. So if you had some shop or, my shop orders at $50 and then you went and did an order of 150, $50 wholesale, and then you went and did a 150 wholesale order, it's going to combine it together and then you'll be active. But remember, you're never going to make the 50%, until you are active. So here's like another little chart. A customer placed an order on my shop. If I'm an active consultant, then I get 50% profit. If I'm not active, but this order will push me over my $450 retail for the month, then I will get the 50% off. If I'm not active, I'm going to get 30%. If I'm placing an order on InTouch, same thing. 50% if I'm active. If I'm not active, but placing that order puts me over the 450, I still get 50%. If I'm not active, either way, it's going to, if you order between 100 and 449.99, it's going to be 30% commission. If you order under 100 retail, okay, so this is where it says, order is under, okay, that's where it says 0 discount. I knew I saw that somewhere. So it looks like to me, if a person orders off my shop and it's less than $100, you're going to get your 30%. But if you personally go order off of InTouch and do an inventory order and it's under $100 retail, you just want to do like $50 or whatever, then you're still paying full price. Which I have people do that sometimes, but they just aren't making any money off of it. So that's where the $100 retail. So this chart's actually pretty helpful. I knew I saw that somewhere, but this chart makes sense because it's different than if it's off your My Shop account. Does that make sense? Because I was kind of confused by that. Okay. So this is what they want us to do in October. Review what you need to know document on InTouch. That's on that Connect hub. So if you go to your news section of Mary Kay InTouch and go to where it talks about e-commerce, there's like 4 sheets, I think. I printed off what you need to know. There's like 4 different sheets. It's a lot of what we covered on here, but it might help you. Inside your InTouch profile, add a preferred banking institution. So do you guys all know how to go to your profile in the upper right hand corner of the screen? You need to make sure that your banking institution is in there, which I always tell new consultants to do this. Now, I don't know whether they do it or not, but I always tell new consultants to do that. But make sure it's in there, because once you get your Stripe account, that's where your money's going to go when you sell anything off your My Shop. So make sure that you have the direct deposit. So, and like for commissions too, which I've told everybody this before because I think it's the best way to do it, but just make sure that you've got your banking information. The other thing is, there was a time, I don't know how many years, where we have not been required to put a social security number in when a consultant signed up. They did not have to do that. I tell every consultant to do it. Now, whether they do it or not, I don't know, but you have to do it once you are using Stripe. The social security number is required. So that is also under your profile. So make sure your banking information and your social security number are set up. And then it said kind of begin writing your personal iStory and select up to 6 photos that you're going to put in your My Shop once we can set up for that. So you can be thinking about what you want your personal iStory to say. And I'm not sure if there's like a limit of how many words it can be or anything, and then select up to 6 photos that you want to put in there. And then make sure that you go look at your customer records, make sure that everybody has a mobile number, that it's not in the home number. And if there's any other dates or anything you want to know for any particular customers. And then make sure if you have any unresolved orders, it says to make any updates or status changes by October 31st. It says orders from December 23. So that's the 2 years worth of data that they're going to bring forward. And then it says change can feel a little overwhelming at first, but remember these updates are designed to make your Mary Kay business even easier and more effective. Every new feature means more opportunity to serve your customers. So, okay. So I wanted y'all to be aware of it so you can be thinking about it and making sure your customer stuff is in the way you want it. And then once we know a date, they'll let us know. But they're kind of trying to prepare us to get all the data together that's going to be migrated. So what questions, concerns, thoughts do you have? Anything at this point? Okay, do you guys feel cool about this? Concern? You think it's great? What are your thoughts?
I think it's great, but I'm going to be interested in honing your my shop to more of like from me, you know, maybe pictures of my family and stuff. I got this little thing when I ordered. Can you see that? It's just a thank you note, and it's got a picture of the family. And I ordered a paintbrush set, and it says, "Thank you. I'm a small business, family owned business, and thank you. And let me know if I can help you. And leave if you have a question or anything, call me personally." And I thought, well, that's very a good thing to put on your web mind shop thing.
I know. I like when I order from people like that and they send cards.
That's nice. And I don't usually do that, but I think I will for now on.
Any other questions, comments, thoughts?
So, so somebody can be completely inactive, completely not working, and have a website up. Is there going to be a monthly charge for our My Shop, or an annual charge for the My Shop?
Okay, my understanding at this point is My Shop and Stripe are free, at least for the first year. That's been my understanding. So, and then I don't know if there's going to be a charge after that, and they haven't told us how much. I will tell you, if you're a team leader or a star team builder and you're trying to, you know, one of the things we look at is having 5 people actively. Okay. So things like that are going to be harder because you want 5 people to be ordering at least 225 and you ordering 600 so you can make your 13%.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my mind. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so what is the encouragement for people to be active if they can still make 30%? That makes it harder for us to team build and become a director, but yet they still get to make money, but they're not working the business. I mean, if you're doing it as a hobby, do it as a hobby.
Yeah,
but
that is true. And there's some nationals that don't like this. Because
I think it's great. I mean, I want everybody to make money. I really do. But at the same time, if you're only doing it for a hobby, I mean, I don't, without being rude and ugly and offensive, that hinders those of us that are trying to be a director. If you're not trying to be a director and you are recruiting nothing but personal use people, great. That's awesome for them. That's perfect. But for those of us that are really trying to make a difference and I mean, I don't know. It's a catch-22. It's a blessing. It's such a blessing, but it's also at the same time, it can be definitely that double-edged.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see.
Sorry, I had to voice my opinion. Sorry.
No, I mean, my initial thought was because, you know, I've always turned Easy Ship off. I mean, I want to have connection with my customer, and this is going to allow someone to order from me and never talk to me. And I want to talk to all my people. And so it's going to allow them to say, I'm going to order from Jody this month. I'm going to order from Angela this month. And it's going to allow a consultant. I'm just going to say this. I do not suggest this if you're a consultant. This is not how I will train people, but you can be a consultant and never be active. You're not going to make very much money. You're going to get some discount, but you're not, by the time you pay shipping, you're not going to make that much. But it is valuable if you're in a situation where I've got to, it is easier for people that maybe they're in a pinch and they just have got to get that order to their customer. It is going to be a little helpful in those situations. But long term for a team, it is going to be a little more challenging. So
Yep.
we still need to talk to new consultants about the value. It depends on how they want to work their business, because they could also work so much on their website that they're not having as much inventory, which that's okay. It just depends on how you want to work your business. And so you do need to take in consideration. And if you already had a large inventory like I do, that's why I'm looking to see how many people order off my website. Do I want to keep having them do that, or there are a few that I'm going to suggest, I'm going to leave it up to the customer, but I'm going to suggest that maybe they just message me, and not order off my website.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is great. The Stripe is really good. I mean, it's cool. The reports on Stripe are great too. So I think I have a couple of customers in the accounting business that use Stripe, and Stripe is good. Their fees are not any more or any less than ProPay, but the availability of the funds are normally within 24 hours, and they're usually transferred in within 24 hours. Like you have reports that literally tell you what's brought in, what your fees are on every transaction, and what was actually transferred into your account. Those are really, really nice reports. And those would be nice reports to run at the end of the year for your taxes. So I see a lot of pluses to that. If you're going to be a consultant, whether you're going to be personal or you're going to work the business, you need to do one or the other. Don't play the line, is the way I feel about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's just going to be a matter of training new people, I think,
Yep.
too. And if you want to make money, it's going to be more to your benefit to be active, and because that's how you're going to make the most money. But
Yeah.
it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah.
Did you have something, Cheryl?
I was just wondering, did it say it will migrate the deleted people over?
Not deleted, but archived will be.
So I need to take all my deleted out of and put them in archived.
If you want to keep them.
I do, because I want to go back and look.
Yeah. So this is why I wanted y'all to go ahead and know about this. So if there was anything like that you wanted to take care of on your My Customers, that you had time to do that. And as soon as there's a date, I'll definitely let y'all know. But they're trying to prep us ahead of time and make sure we have our data together. The other value thing they told us about Stripe is, some people, part of the reason why I didn't like Easy Ship, part of it was I'm a control freak. Part of it is I did not want to be, I didn't want someone to order off my website that I didn't know and then back their money out. Because that happens sometimes on Easy Ship, not often, but it happens. So one of the value things they told us about Stripe is that right now, when that happens, as a consultant, we have to go to ProPay and try to get that money back. And I only had that happen to me one time in my 26 years. And it wasn't even through my website. She flat out paid me with a credit card, and she had bought from me multiple times and then bought $100 and something from me and then backed the money out. And when I texted her about it, she never would pay me. So that only and so I called ProPay about it, and they couldn't get my money back. So, so that's only happened to me one time. But they said with Stripe, Mary Kay is going to take the hit if that happens. So we won't take the hit. So Mary Kay is taking on that liability.
So any scammers,
Mm-hmm.
Mary Kay's going to have to.
That's what they've told me. So that's also to our benefit. And no one can still order, they have to order from a consultant. So if they get on their website, they have to order. Some consultant is going to get credit for that order. So it's not like they can order directly from the company.
So if a scammer gets on there and places an order, you get 50% commission on that order. And then what if Mary Kay finds out it was a scam? They have to eat that money. Then do we get our commission?
Well, that's what I don't know. Like if you get paid commission on something already and then that money gets backed out or something, I'm afraid
Uh-huh.
it would be taken away. But
Uh-huh.
I don't have all the details on that, but my understanding was they were taking more of the hit than like it happens with ProPay. And like I said, it doesn't, I mean, it's only happened to me one time, but I have Easy Ship off. So,
I
but I
know, I
have
turned mine
people
off.
that love Easy Ship. I mean, I know some other consultants and directors that love it. They like being able to get an order that they don't have to do anything for, and they get credit for it, and they love it. And so, I've just been kind of a control freak about it, and I could be wrong. um, I do want to tell you guys one more thing, and I know we're late, but I wanted to just give you guys all this information. Does anyone have any other questions about this? Okay. I do want to tell you, and it may not come out in any other format, and we may hear it from Mary Kay, but there was rumors today about Mary Kay and Amazon. And I just wanted you guys to know not to be concerned if you hear rumors. So all I know is there was a big meeting today with Ryan and the national sales directors, and they have figured out something to get rid of all the people that are selling on Amazon that shouldn't be. Because they said it has been a huge issue and they spend hours and hours and tons of money. And it's like as soon as they shut one down, another one. So something is going to happen where there's going to be some kind of Mary Kay Amazon store where 5 products are going to be on there or something. And if they do that as a company or something, it shuts everybody else down and they can't sell Mary Kay on Amazon or something. But there's been rumors today that we're only going to be selling on Amazon and that's it. And blah, 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 blah. So I don't know what exactly is happening, but Ryan and the legal team have come up with something and they're going to be telling us about it. And somehow it's going to shut all the Amazon people down. So if you guys hear rumors of, oh my gosh, Mary Kay's going to Amazon or something, we're not. We're still we're all going to be Mary Kay consultants and all that. But they are doing something with Amazon, and it's supposed to get rid of all these issues that they've been trying to get rid of for years. So just FYI, they've got some big master plan, but there's been crazy rumors today. And then I'm on a national thing and she said that it's been going around. So I hadn't heard it from anyone else, but in case you guys hear it where you are or something, don't worry. And they'll tell us what it is. So it's just a lot of stuff is happening.
I at one time I had a question because you were talking about somebody can go from consultant to consultant and order online and do whatever. At one time, I remember that when I was doing PCP, I had somebody that was registered with somebody else. And when I clicked on them to send the book, it popped up a pop-up saying this person is registered with somebody else as well. Is that still a thing, or is I mean,
I don't know.
okay.
But that's something that we can ask. So, and we may, and I know like Dawn is going to be at a retreat this weekend. So she may hear more about it. They may not talk a lot about it. I don't know. They don't want us to get too bogged down on all this, but we also need to know about it. So if Dawn finds out anything more, that'll be good. I am on a Voxer now that's with Janice Trude, and then Jody and I are going to her retreat, which is at the end of the month. It's not for like 3 more weeks. So Donald, you're going to be at something before we are with other people, but as we learn more things, we can share with each other. But that's a good question. The thing is, I think if you do Easy Ship, you don't have to register. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't see their name. So I feel like that's why I feel like they could do that if they wanted to. But I don't know how many people are trying to do that. Sometimes I think people do Easy Ship if they've had a bad experience with Mary Kay and they don't want to be contacted by a consultant.
Well, and I also wonder, so that brings up a question in my mind, and maybe you covered it and I didn't hear it. Whenever they go on to your shop, my shop, if they're a brand new customer, don't they have to create a new profile?
I think like currently they don't if they are a guest checkout.
Right. But that's what I mean. So in the new shop, my shop, are they going to have to create a profile when they go on, or is it going to be similar to that other feature that we have that you
I'm
don't
not
have.
totally sure.
See, that would be, I mean, if they have to go in and register, and I mean, that would be nice if there was a flag or something that would say, you've already registered with this person. Are you wanting to delete that registration? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't know the answer to that.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so there are some things that we'll have to find out. And they told us they would update the uh thing next. Okay, thank you, Alexandra. Oh, um, let me see. Did she say she had to go? Okay. Um, now I don't know where I lost my train of thought. I was trying to read what she said, and now I can't remember what I was saying.
I was talking about them registering and
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, they're gonna update the Connect Hub more. Um, they're gonna update the Connect Hub more. They said keep continuing. So like November, we might get more information, and then we should hopefully get a date too. So
well, like I said, I think the overall is good. I think that there's a lot of pluses to all of it. It just that one thing just is what
yeah,
bothers
and
me.
I mean, there could be things about it that end up making it better for us than it is now, and we
Yeah.
just don't know all the ins and outs of it now yet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to let go of control.
Who? Us? None of us are control freaks. Are any of us control freaks? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, I am gonna let y'all go because I kept you too long. But I wanted you guys to know about all this information. Just to kind of be ready.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And if we get more information, we'll share it with each other.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye.